Hello guys! Our today's story about the panda whose name is Ping. He is very naughty. He belongs to Sichuan mountains, so let's start the story. In the misty, green mountains of Sichuan, China, lived a panda named Ping. Unlike the other pandas who spent their days nibbling bamboo and napping, Ping was a painter. But not with a brush. He used his paws, which he would dip in mud and berry juice to make streaks and swirls on flat, smooth rocks. He especially loved to paint scenes of his favorite things, the deep green of the bamboo forest, the brilliant red of a setting sun, and the playful dance of the fireflies at night. Ping's best friend was a clever little monkey named Ming. Ming was fascinated by Ping's art. "Your paintings are lovely, Ping," Ming would say, "but wouldn't they be even better if they were about the pandas?" Ping just shrugged. He didn't want to paint about the pandas. The other pandas were so serious. They had a special list of rules called the proper Panda Code, and they followed it very carefully. The proper Panda Code stated: 1. Pandas must eat only the greenest, most delicious bamboo. 2. Pandas must walk slowly and with great dignity. 3. Pandas must nap for at least 6 hours a day. 4. Pandas must not make messes. Ping's art was a bit messy. The berry juice sometimes dripped on his paws, and the mud left smudges on his fur. The other pandas would look at him with disapproval. Ping, an elder panda named Grandpa Li, would sigh, "A panda's job is to eat, sleep, and be dignified. Not to make splashes and splotches." Ping felt sad. He put away his paints and tried to be a proper panda. He ate bamboo, walked slowly, and napped under a big tree. But his mind was always on colors and shapes. One week, a terrible storm came. The wind howled, and the rain fell so hard it washed away the path to the best bamboo grove in the whole mountain. When the storm ended, the pandas were hungry, and they couldn't find their way. The path was gone. All they saw was a big, muddy field. "We are lost," cried a young panda. "The proper Panda Code doesn't tell us what to do when the path is gone." Grandpa Li looked worried. "Without our path, we cannot get to the bamboo. What will we do?" Ping, listening from the side, took a closer look at the muddy field. He noticed something the other pandas didn't. He saw the different colors of the mud. Some spots were a dark, rich brown, while others were a lighter, grayer shade. He remembered how water would turn some of his berry juice paint a lighter color. "The mud is different," Ping exclaimed. "The light-colored mud is where the water was deep. The dark mud is where the water was shallow. We can follow the dark mud to find our way back." The other pandas looked at him with skepticism. How could a panda who made messes know the way? But they were so hungry, they decided to trust him. Ping carefully waddled forward, stepping only where the mud was dark and firm. He led them around a big puddle and over a few sturdy, hidden stones. As they followed him, the pandas started to notice the things Ping saw every day. They saw the beautiful, swirling patterns the wind had made in the mud. They saw how a bright green fern still stood tall in the middle of a brown puddle. "It's like a painting, isn't it?" one of the young pandas whispered. Finally, after a long walk, they reached the bamboo grove. The pandas cheered. They were so happy to have their favorite fruit again. Grandpa Li walked over to Ping. "Ping," he said with a deep, kind voice. "I was wrong. Your messy, creative mind saw something we all missed. You weren't just making splotches. You were seeing the world in a way we had forgotten." From that day on, Ping was celebrated not just for his art, but for his unique way of seeing the world. The pandas learned a new rule for their code: a panda's job is to be true to themselves. Ping went back to his paints, but this time, he also painted a new picture, a beautiful, swirling portrait of all his panda friends, their smiling faces painted in all the colors of the mountain. And every now and then, he'd still leave a little muddy paw print on a rock, just to remind them all that sometimes, being a little messy is the best way to be.